It is Thursday, March 4. Welcome to CGN News. St. Kitts and Nevis is now offering the Oxford University AstraZeneca vaccine at 4 health centers at 1 p.m. daily from Monday to Friday. Dr. Stapleton Harris, a Ministry of Health official, said all public health services will be provided in the morning and the focus placed on the COVID-19 administration in the afternoon. Dr. Harris said by next week all 11 health centers in St. Kitts will be included. She urged persons to just walk in and be vaccinated or make an appointment to do so. The vaccine is free of cost. Bermuda on Wednesday reintroduced a nighttime curfew following a spike in coronavirus cases. Health Minister Kim Wilson said the move was made after the island suffered an outbreak which may be linked to the UK strain of the virus. The curfew will be from midnight to 5 a.m. Businesses will have to close at 11 p.m. Wilson said Bermuda had seen a surge in coronavirus cases in the last 2.5 weeks. She said the new cases were linked to a mutation which was first transmitted locally in mid-February. A Jamaican man has been charged with the murder of his Jamaican male partner in Toronto, Canada on the weekend. Leon Malcolm, 28, of Toronto, and an ex-Indocom employee have been charged with murder in the death of Rupert Brown, 38, a medical doctor who studied at UWI Mona campus and had worked at the Cornwall Regional Hospital. Reports are that the police were called to the Keele Street and Ellington Avenue West area in Toronto at about 3:25 a.m. on Saturday, February 27. Brown was later found with obvious injuries, according to a release from the Toronto police. Global News in Canada reported that Malcolm and Brown had been involved in a domestic abuse case some weeks before Brown's death. Malcolm was reportedly on bail at the time of the incident, after being charged with possession of a dangerous weapon, a knife, assault, and assault with a weapon on January 27. Prime Minister of Grenada, Dr. Keith Mitchell, has announced steps to reopen the island's tourism sector in the coming months. Speaking in an interview, Mitchell said commercial flights from the United Kingdom and hotel properties, including the Sandals Resort, will be reopened in 2 months. The UK airlines have now reported that they will be resuming flights from April, which coincide with the movement by some of the hotels to reopen, Mitchell said. Sandals, Grenada's largest all-inclusive resort, will also be reopening in early April. In December 2020, the hotel announced a suspension of operations after the government disclosed that a cluster of COVID-19 cases had been identified among the staff. Resistance by mourners to coronavirus protocols in Jamaica has forced some churches to refuse to officiate funerals and clergymen to call the police on unruly mourners, according to a Gleaner report. Head of the Jamaica Umbrella Group of Churches, the Reverend Peter Garth, said religious leaders are being pressured to disregard the gathering ban. No more than 10 guests and 5 funeral officials are allowed at funerals under the Disaster Risk Management Act. Funerals and burials will be banned from March 8 to 22, Prime Minister Andrew Holness announced Sunday. Garth said pastors are sometimes verbally attacked when they remind family members of the existing protocols. The Ministry of Health and Wellness says that Jamaica is to receive its first shipment of the COVID-19 vaccine on Monday, March 8, and not March 4 as earlier announced. The shipment of 50,000 doses of the AstraZeneca vaccine is a gift from India, with whom Jamaica enjoys a long diplomatic relationship. This is to be followed by the March 11 arrival of 14,400 doses of the vaccine procured under the COVAX facility, a global risk-sharing mechanism for pooled procurement, and another 1.8 million doses from the African Medical Supply Platform is to follow. The vaccination is expected to begin 48 hours after the arrival of the first shipment. South Africans are celebrating a drop in coronavirus cases but dread another wave of infections. The numbers are down and patients are no longer that sick, Nurse Constant Matibela told AFP at Tembisa Hospital in a township east of Johannesburg. South Africa recorded its first case of coronavirus on March 5 last year. It has since been through 2 virus storms, recording over 1.5 million cases and more than 50,000 deaths. But on Sunday, President Cyril Ramaphosa declared that the second wave, fueled by a new, more contagious variant, was now over. Security has been ramped up at the U.S. Capitol in Washington in response to a possible plot to breach the building. The move was prompted by intelligence that a militia group planned the attack for March 4, the day conspiracy theorist group QAnon believes Donald Trump will return for a second term. The House of Representatives cancelled Thursday's session, but the Senate will continue with its agenda. A mob loyal to Trump stormed the Congress building in January. That attack came as lawmakers were inside moving to certify Democrat Joe Biden's election victory. Trump still refuses to admit losing the election. And finally, the third time appeared to be the charm for Elon Musk's Starship prototype rocket, until it wasn't. The rocket soared into the sky in a high-altitude test on Wednesday from Boca Chica in Texas, then flew itself back to Earth and maneuvered into its first successful upright landing. But the triumph was short-lived. A beautiful soft landing, a SpaceX commentator said during a live broadcast of the test flight. About 8 minutes later, it blew itself into pieces, lurching into the air and crashing back to the ground. There was no immediate explanation for what went wrong. That's it for CGN News. I'm Scott Wilson. Thanks for watching.